After a disheartening end to the 2014 World Cup final, Argentina managed to lift the Grand Trophy 8 years later in Qatar. While that victory was dedicated to putting a perfect end to Messi's football legacy, there was another legend in the ranks who deserved his flowers too. Di María was one of the most senior players in the World Cup winning squad alongside Messi. He cemented his legacy as one of the most important figures in Argentina's history after scoring in the final against France. Di María and turning clutch in a final isn't really anything new. In fact, he is possibly one of the best big game players throughout football history. From that man of the match performance in the Champions League final for Real Madrid in 2014 to the winning goal in the 2021 Copa América final, Di María has always turned up for his team when they needed him the most. When we look at his national team career, a peculiar pattern can be found in hindsight. It's not just the big games he played and performed in, but rather the big games he missed and subsequently couldn't help his team in that truly displayed how important of a role he played in Argentina's successes. There's a resounding belief that had Di María started the 2014 World Cup final, Argentina would have lifted the trophy that day. It's not just words in the air either. Historical data very pointedly suggests this theory to be true. Today, we're going to deep dive into the underrated career of Ángel Di María and determine if he is Argentina's most important player throughout their history. Now, two names straight away counter this argument with very good reason: Diego Maradona and Lionel Messi, obviously. But we're not talking about who was the best player for Argentina technically, or who even contributed the most to the team. No, we're only focusing on their importance in the grand scheme of things. Maradona won the World Cup in 1986, but couldn't lay claim to any of the 3 Copa Americas he participated in. Meanwhile, Messi and Di María took home a World Cup and then 2 Copa Americas consecutively. This feat is comparable to Spain's 2008 to 2012 dominance when they won a World Cup and 2 Euros back-to-back. So what made Di María so instrumental to this side? And why couldn't Argentina win on the big stage without him? Let's find out. Let's go back a few years. El Clasico was at the height of its rivalry during the Messi and Ronaldo era. Pep versus Mourinho and Messi versus Ronaldo would send shivers down both sets of supporters. But if you ask any Barcelona fan who they feared facing the most in that era, the answer might surprise you. Many Catalans would pick Di María over Ronaldo or Bale. The quiet kid in the squad rose on the biggest of occasions during his time in Madrid. The most momentous one came in the Champions League final in 2014. Los Blancos had already lost out on the league title after finishing 3rd in 2013-14. Di María's 18 assists in the league weren't enough to grab the title. The Copa del Rey final witnessed an El Clasico for the ages when Bale scored that iconic goal running down the touchline. The Bale moment deservedly took the limelight, but remember, it was Di María who had opened the scoring that day. The Champions League final was set for a fierce Madrid derby in Lisbon. Atletico had just won the league and were eyeing up European glory. Diego Godin set them up with an early lead in the first half. Simeone's low block held tight and denied every chance of scoring that Madrid could muster over the space of 90 minutes. Atletico Madrid supporters were on the brink of witnessing the club win their first ever Champions League title as the match went into stoppage time after 90 minutes. What happened next is inked on Sergio Ramos's left calf. The Spanish centre-back rose the highest to head the ball in from a corner in the 93rd minute. With the score now tied at 1-1, the game went to extra time with no substitutions left for either side. But the resilient Atletico players simply couldn't hold on any longer and conceded 3 more goals, which subsequently broke their hearts. Di María was all over the pitch throughout the 120 minutes and created a plethora of chances. His strike in extra time led to the deadlock breaking after Courtois could only parry it towards Bale, who scored from 3 yards out. Di María was named man of the match and gave the world a glimpse of his clutch gene. He was key to the club's 10th Champions League title, popularly known as La Décima. This was just the beginning of an impressive pattern that would especially emerge in his exploits with Argentina. even in his younger days, he was a big game performer. After winning the Under-20 World Cup in 2007, he was called up in 2008 for the Beijing Olympics. He scored the winning goal in extra time against the Netherlands in the quarter-final. The assist came from none other than Messi in the 105th minute. In the final against Nigeria, he scored the only goal of the game in trademark fashion, a chip from the edge of the area. This goal brought the country their second ever gold medal in football. He then made his World Cup debut in 2010 after impressive performances for Benfica, which earned him the big move to Real Madrid in the summer. He had an eventful end to the season in the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. After a goalless 90 minutes, his cross in the 13th minute of extra time was met by a towering Ronaldo header. He was sent off in the last minute of the game, but his assist proved fatal for Barcelona, who couldn't come back from being 1-0 down. After a slow start to the 2011-12 season, he picked up his performances and started getting picked by Mourinho over Kaká and Ozil. In just 23 league appearances that season, he collected 16 assists, helping the club win the league against Pep's Barcelona. The 2012-13 season was underwhelming by his standards, but he still managed to get 9 goals and 16 assists throughout the campaign. This would turn to 11 goals and 26 assists the very next season, where he was key to their Copa del Rey and Champions League victories. But a string of terrible luck began with his availability in crucial games for Argentina. It started with the 2014 World Cup. Switzerland put up a good fight in the round of 16, which was bound to go to penalties with just 2 minutes of extra time left. That's when Di María struck and scored the only goal to lead Argentina into the quarterfinals. Di María suffered a muscle injury during the quarterfinal match against Belgium, where he played a crucial role in setting up Higuaín's decisive goal. Unfortunately, this setback ruled him out of the upcoming semi-final, where Argentina played and beat the Netherlands in a penalty shootout after a 0-0 draw. Argentina was set to play against Germany in the final. Di María was deemed unfit to start, but was available as a substitute. The final was a tough watch for him from the bench, as he helplessly saw Götze score in the final minutes of extra time. It could have easily been a different outcome had he been able to take part. This theory was further cemented when the two sides met again in September, just a few months after the final. The friendly ended 4-2 in favour of Argentina, with Di María bagging 1 goal and a further 3 assists. He moved to Manchester United in the summer of 2014, which proved to be one of the biggest mistakes throughout his career. The record-breaking transfer brought along immense expectations as well. He was given the number 7 and the heavy weight of pressure that came with it. But a shell of his former self and utilised wastefully, the Argentine had a tough season in England. He started fine, but faltered as the season progressed. He was even deployed as a striker by Van Gaal during a string of bad form, which further damaged his image. By the end of the season, English media was quick to label him as the worst signing of the season. He managed just 3 goals and 10 assists in 27 league appearances. In an open letter to Real Madrid fans, he admitted that he never wanted to leave, but was forced out by the board because someone might not have liked him. A season in England was enough for him, as he booked a move to PSG in the summer of 2015. He got back to his former clutch self in his very first season in Paris, as he scored the winning goal in the French League Cup final against Lille. He also set a Ligue 1 records for the most assists in a season, with 18 in just 29 appearances. The 2015 Copa América saw Di María heavily involved in the quarters and semis, as he scored once and assisted twice against Paraguay to reach the final. But history repeated itself as he went off injured in the first half against Chile. The game ended in a goalless draw, and Argentina lost out in the penalty shootout. Fans wondered again if the game would have ended differently had he not been injured. This theory gained traction again, as the very next year, the Copa América 2016 was held, and Argentina faced Chile in their opening game. Di María scored and supplied an assist to help them win 2-1. He assisted the opening goal in the next match, but went off injured afterwards. He was ruled out of the tournament, and Argentina lost against Chile in identical fashion, a goalless draw and losing out in the shootout. The 2018 World Cup and Copa América 2019 were disappointing campaigns for Argentina, but the tide was about to turn. For Di María, the PSG days brought trophies and personal achievements alike. He left the French capital as the club's all-time assist leader. Then, in 2021, his luck with Argentina eventually turned. After facing plenty of criticism from fans who claimed he brought bad luck to the team, Di María brought home Argentina's first major trophy in 28 years. He scored with a trademark chip over Edison in the final against Brazil and couldn't hold in his emotions after the match. The clash between Euro winners and Copa America champions is called La Finalissima. Argentina faced Italy and Di María scored again in the 3-0 victory. He hadn't just broken his own curse, but Argentina's as well. There were bigger things yet to come, as we witnessed in the Qatar World Cup in 2022. Argentina were on the verge of heading out of the tournament after losing the first group match and being unable to get past Mexico's defense in the first half of their second match. Di María claimed the assist for Argentina's opening goal, and they went on to build from there. The final against France was one of the greatest games in World Cup history. Di María was instrumental in keeping Argentina's dreams alive, as he won the penalty which Messi scored, and then added a goal of his own in the first half. It was only after he was substituted in the 64th minute that France crept back into the game, courtesy of his former teammate and another big game player. But Argentina held on, and Martinez kept nerves of steel during the shootout to win their first World Cup since 1986. From missing 3 finals to scoring in the next 2, Di María proved why he was such an important player for Argentina. This would have been the perfect moment to retire for an aging winger whose athleticism was on a sharp decline. But reportedly, Messi asked him to stay on for one last dance at the 2024 Copa America. After Messi went off injured, he wore the captain's armband in what was possibly his last match for Argentina. He stayed on until the 117th minute and got a resounding round of applause as he went off the pitch. The 1-0 victory sealed the perfect ending for the Argentine, who could only ever have dreamt of lifting just one trophy for his country, let alone 4 consecutive ones. He ended up proving what few supporters had suspected very on in his Argentina career. He was the most crucial piece of the puzzle. Considering his role on the biggest of occasions, he was arguably Argentina's most important player. He moved back to Benfica in 2023 and accumulated 17 goals and a further 15 assists that season. The 36-year-old still plays for the Portuguese club and has recently been studying to become a coach after retiring. Can you think of anyone else who played a more important role for Argentina outside of Messi or Maradona? Let us know your thoughts below.